Hey, this is Ashley the BootBabe, and I wanted to get on and give a special message before this podcast. I had the opportunity to interview the Tratter House gentlemen, and I want you to know these guys are the real deal. They're genuine, they look you in the eyes, they have seriously the funniest conversations you could ever imagine, and they are nothing short of America's future for the Western world. They are including people, they are making people feel heard and seen, helping people with mental health, and representing the cowboy way of life and the Western lifestyle in cool cultural facets. I love rodeo. I love the National Finals Rodeo. I love coming down here and seeing all the different facets of culture, from the rodeo to the shopping to the fashion. It goes on and on. This is Blake's interview, otherwise known as BMO. I hope you enjoyed this interview, and if you love what you hear here, please like and share this podcast. I am so grateful for all of your support on Western fashion behind the scenes. I'm so excited that you're joining me. Let's dive right into this podcast.
Hey, it's Ashley, the BootBabe, and I am live at Cowboy Christmas with a character. What is your name?
My name is Blake Moore, also known as BMO.
You're the infamous BMO?
I am the BMO.
How did you become BMO?
I'm actually going to give my sister the credit. My older sister, her name's Brooke, and our last name's Moore, and she came up with the nickname BMO, and I was the only other child with a B name, and I was BMO Jr., but then in high school, all my friends just called me BMO, and then it transferred into social media, and so
Give me an idea. So when you say transferred in, how long have you been on social media?
I have done social media since I was probably 16. I started doing YouTube videos with my buddies. I used to race motocross and just ride a lot of dirt bikes and stuff. And we had a YouTube channel called Hucka TV, and I used to play characters on there. And I was probably 16, 17 years old. And then TikTok came around. And so I've been on TikTok for 3-4 years now.
Yeah, because how old are you now?
I'm 23.
Okay. Where are we right now?
Well, here in the emergency exit hallway in the back of the convention center, sitting on some cigarette butts.
Oh my gosh. Because you have a cowboy booth, or a booth at Cowboy Christmas.
Yeah, we sure do. This is our second year here. Yeah.
Yeah, tell me a little bit about that.
It's the first year we had it, we were really nervous because we didn't know how to run a merch booth. And I'm not very knowledgeable with that stuff, and I'm blessed to have Nick. He's like the smart genius guy behind the operations that he can handle a lot of things, but he's taught me well, and I can handle a lot of events now. But we got moved into a kind of a crappier spot this year, but due to socials, we can now expand where we are with our audience. And
yeah, isn't it amazing what happens?
it is crazy. We thought we weren't going to make any money this year, but we're in the green. We're good.
Okay, good. Yeah. I saw Nick's video about how to get here. I've never seen anyone else do that in the whole convention center, except for me, about cowboy boot companies. And I laughed because why don't we do that? Everyone has the opportunity. So you say let's talk about what you're doing now. So your social media took off.
Yep.
In your early 20s. And then what happened? You formed a house.
Yeah. I am the name Tratter, you could say. But I couldn't do it without my friends, with Nick and Roy. They do it. Roy might be 46 years old, but that man's putting on all the events. Like, he's emailing all that stuff.
What does Tratter mean?
Like, how to start?
Yeah. What is it? What is a Tratter House? Like, you should see my mom. She's like, a Tratter what?
Okay, so yeah, Tratter came from me playing with toy tractors. That's how I started TikTok. I was playing with toy tractors, and I was doing a comedy skit series of me being a little kid. And obviously, they can't say the word tractor, so Tratter was it. And it went insanely viral. I grew like 1 million followers in 3 to 4 weeks. It was the fastest I've ever seen, or Nick or anyone's ever seen, grow. That was also back when TikTok was a lot easier to grow on. But yeah, we had a group called Tratter Gang. It was me and Zach, Gatlin, Farmer Daryl or whatever, and Nick. And that group, we traveled around. We did like a tour of meet and greets, a lot of music festivals and stuff. And then we didn't have like necessarily a falling out. We just had different goals for our social medias. Zach wanted to farm, and Gallon wanted to do his own thing. We're all still friends, but me and Nick just wanted to continue doing what we had because we were growing massively still. We still had the power and the reach. me and Nick came together and we're like, dude, let's do a content house. We talked about it in Tratter Gang, but never got to it. So now we had the Tratter House in Dallas, Texas, and I had 5 days notice that we were doing this house. We found one, got it going. We're like, dude, we got to hop on this right now. I moved into the Tratter House in January of 22, and I was there for 7 months, 7 months, something like that. And it was good. Caden had joined the house. We had a lot of creators come in, but the behind the scenes of that was it's 5-6 guys living in a house. We all have different like lifestyles of how we live, and I'm a big social guy. I love hanging out with friends, and Nick is antisocial, and he hates that. Like, he loves quiet. And so I was like me and Caden were like the rowdy ones, like always had people over, and it's just Caden, he's a slob. He doesn't do dishes. And me and Roy like it clean. It's just, we all have different ways of living. But so we moved out of the Tratter House. Our friendship was more important to us than freaking doing a house. Like, who gives a crap? So we quit doing that. But now me and Nick and Roy are the only ones really a part of the Tratter House now. But now we have, instead of us living together, we just go on trips together. It's like Tratter's like just wherever we are. So it's like Tratter on wheels.
Yeah. So you have merch here.
Yeah.
And
sure
what kind
do.
of merch?
So we have like hoodies and hats, and we're working, hopefully in the future, we're going to have some Tratter boots.
Wouldn't that be amazing?
That would be so cool.
That's a secret.
That's just the Tratter stuff. Yeah. And then Nick, he has his brand here as well, which he'll probably talk about that on his podcast.
Yeah, that's okay.
Anyway, yeah, he's doing that. And we're hoping to come out with some more good stuff month by month. I've fallen off. I'm in charge of the merch, and I've fallen off because I've been busy growing my personal brand at the farm and stuff like that. So I've been behind on that, but we're getting back up and going.
Yeah, what's your brand at the farm? Tell me about what goes on at the farm and all
so
about that.
I work for my best friend's dad, and we row crop there. So I was a farm kid, like growing up. Like my parents, my grandpa and my dad sold out when I was 6. So the farming's been in my blood, and it's just always been something about farming I've loved. That's why the toy tractors were just something to me. And I want to raise my kids. I would have been I think a 3rd gen farmer, and now I'm like I call it a revamp 3rd gen. I started up my own hay business this first year, took out my first big boy loan, like a big loan by myself. And it was very hard for me because in school they don't teach you taxes, and I had to learn how to do my taxes correctly, and I did them all wrong by writing everything off. And it's so much. But I finally got where I could get a loan. So I did my hay business. It was a really successful year. I had a lot of breakdowns, actual like mechanical breakdowns. And it was actually a blessing in disguise, because now next year, if something happens, I know my equipment like the back of my hand now. So it's really cool, but I've always been a mechanic.
So you're really a 3rd gen farm.
Truly, I am.
Yeah, and I would claim that.
Yeah, and a lot of people don't even realize that, which a lot of my friends don't either, because they don't know my family history. Just because I didn't grow up farming, it's technically I am. I think I'm a 3rd gen.
You should say that. You should claim that, and you should have that. You should have that
sure.
confidence, because guess what? Everyone wants to be a farmer and rancher right now. Number one, and number two, that's what you're going to leave as your legacy. Well, I guess the big question that people want to know is, are you single?
I am more than single. It's awful. Yeah.
What happened to you?
I actually was dating this girl from Idaho. I did long distance for my first time ever, and I swore I would never date a girl off social media. Somehow that happened, and I fell in love with her, and we were dating for about 10 months, and I was like, dude, I think she's the one. I really do. And so anyway, I had gotten her, we talked about moving in together and all this stuff, and I didn't want to move in with her, but I had gotten her a house in Illinois, and I had asked her dad if it was okay if she moved and all this stuff, because she wanted to. And anyway, 2 weeks before she was supposed to move, she got cold feet, and I was like, I'm not moving. And she wanted to wait a little bit and all this stuff. And long story short, I told her no. And I was like, if you don't know, then that's that. So we broke up, and that was back in the summer. But I was never like hurt over it. Like, I was like disappointed, but I've always had the mentality of, if it's not meant to be, it's not meant to be. And like the relationships nowadays, people get so beat up, they want to commit suicide over it, which is awful. But my mindset is totally opposite from that. It's just, God has someone for me, and that's what I stand by.
I like that. You guys do a lot of positive stuff for people, and you inspire a lot of people to be better.
Yeah.
And I've seen a lot of people get help from you directly while they're online, while you're on a live feed, while you're doing something.
Yeah.
There are people that need help, right? They're suffering. And people that aren't feeling very well. So how do you make sure you feel well every day?
See, I try to answer that question myself because I got rebaptized whenever I was 19, and I got my buckle. This one I'm wearing was 2019 was like the year that I was baptized and stuff. Like my buckles represented around my faith and stuff. So my sister like practically raised me, like from a mother's standpoint. Like my mom and I were like always bumped heads, but like my sister she showed me more of like God's love. And whenever I have a problem, like it's easier said than done, but I just give everything to the man upstairs. I really do. And I wake up and I put on a front that I'm an asshole.
I don't know if you're an asshole, like a womanizer.
I
Kissing Elva in the bus station,
Oh
if
my
that's you, we
gosh.
don't know. There's so
Yeah.
many scandalous
That's
things
the
on
thing.
the TikTok.
That's not me. That's the thing.
know.
I'm so scared of girls. But
See,
like I
that's
would
about you.
never, I would never do that.
You're scared of me.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm laughing because I'm not scared. But the more I'm pretty introverted.
Yeah.
So this is my way of getting to know people.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it works because I want to hear about your life. You're single.
Yep.
But you might date someone, but they need to live by you probably, or need to relocate to Illinois.
Yes. So that is my main thing now, because I will not date a girl. I won't even talk to a girl. I want to know what she's planning on doing before I even try to get attached, because if you don't plan on moving and being a stay-at-home farm mom with our kids, I don't want it. In all honesty, it's just pointless.
I think you just won over a million girls' hearts in
See,
one
you think
minute.
that. You think that.
There's none?
Not
What do they want to do?
These girls nowadays in this generation don't know what they want. They either want to be a nurse or a teacher, which is fine, but they don't want to move. And that's not necessarily because like they don't want to. It's more so because they're like so family, like, or is it oriented the right word for that?
Sure, like they love their family.
Yeah, they love their
mom and
family. That's
dad,
why
and-
I would never move. But also the farm is what holds me back. Because
You're
like,
looking for a girl that wants to be, she's probably first gen.
yeah, she could be. And I can't date a girl that farms either, because she's obviously going to be taking over the farm unless she's like not the only child. But
So you've limited him down.
I have a very like, what's the word I'm looking for here?
Precise?
I have high standards.
Okay.
Yeah.
Tell me about the girl you want to date.
Oh gosh. So like I want a girl that I can literally come home to, and like, that's my best friend. I met a few girls that I just like instantly, I love you. Like, you are so awesome. I can talk to you about anything. That's the kind of woman I want. I want someone that we can have Bible studies every night and have like our battles together. I want someone that is going to be a loving mother. I want someone that has, and it's going to sound so weird, but I feel like I need a girl that has had a lot of trauma in her life with a mom, because I've met multiple girls that have had trauma like that, where they didn't have a mother, and they have turned out to be the best mothers that I've ever seen, which is like my mom. My mom had a shitty mother, and she turned out to be a really good mom. Other than just, I was the only boy, and I was a rowdy kid, so my mom had every intention of being crazy, but yeah, I don't know, just the basics, but
That's not basics.
yeah, I guess you're
Those are my
right.
standards.
Yeah, they are, and I don't care if you're freaking brunette or blonde. I preferred always blondes, but no, the hair is never actually standing in the way. I make TikToks about it, but that's never gonna stand in the way.
Yeah, but your TikToks are funny and they help people get to know you. You're not an asshole. You're not a womanizer. You actually study the Bible. What the heck have we gotten to here? This is wild.
And it's sad for me to say that I studied the Bible, and here I am kissing a girl.
That's okay. You kiss girls and study the Bible.
You can, but I don't know.
Yes, you can. What are you? Not a nun, whatever.
I'm a Christian.
Okay, I know, but you're not a monk. You can kiss girls and study the Bible.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's true.
You have to kiss girls and make babies.
Yeah.
Where are you going next?
Oh man, in life or after NFR?
Right now, probably down the stairs, because it's tiring to be here, huh?
Yeah, it's awful. We've been here 2 weeks. And man, it's fun for the first few days. Like all the events, I get to see all my friends. That's really fun, but it would be more fun if I didn't have to be up at 7:30 every morning to come to the booth. That's what sucks, which I did a lot better this year. Last year, I was partying way too much, and Yeah, this year I did a lot better.
You take some advice from Dale Brisby. What happens is you send other people to work in the booth in the morning. You show up about 1 or 2. You sign autographs for a couple hours, and then you leave again to go to the rodeo or wherever you got to go.
Yep.
He did that for a while. He's a good example of that.
Yeah, we've had a lot of business talks with Dale. He's been awesome to us.
Yeah, I bet. Tell me who you love as a creator that you would that you've worked with already.
Man, that's a tough one.
None of them? I'm just kidding. What?
Yeah, no, I've met a lot of shitty creators, people that are absolutely fake. Especially here at the NFR, I've had a lot of encounters with a couple females.
Let's not even go there. There's some shit on TikTok that is wild.
I know.
If you haven't watched the TikToks, go watch them.
We'll just keep the spice going, keep everyone interested. But yeah, no, good creators though. I don't.
Nick's a good creator.
Nick is he's my friend though. I just would.
Okay.
Nick is a good creator. There's people who have natural talent of making videos, and then there's some people like who don't. I don't know how to explain this. I don't even know what I'm trying to say.
It's true. There's people who have the flow.
There's people who want to try to be on social media, and they have no business making videos because they're not funny.
Or they're just not humor.
Or there's not education behind it. That's another thing. It's either you're funny, educational, or you're a model. I don't know.
You're a model, right?
I don't know. I'm just a farmer.
Okay, so I would call it edutainment.
Oh, yeah, you said that the other day.
Yeah, I coined this word, right? And that's what a book is going to come out called Edutainment, The Future of Sales.
Yes.
Because that's what you do. You educate and entertain the people, and you're not who we think you are. What do you want people to know about you?
I want people to know that I literally love everybody. I used to be evil before I was saved. Like, I went through a bad childhood, like with divorce and stuff like that. So it traumatized me like really bad, and I was like very evil. Like I was a bully in high school or in grade school.
Just because you felt hurt.
Yeah, I don't know. I was really bad depression state. I remember not wanting to get out of bed. I remember my mom crying because she couldn't help me and all this stuff. But anyway, like now, since I'm older and stuff, I'm the guy who stands up to the bullies. I'm the guy who lifts you up whenever you're down, because I used to be that guy. And no one, this is the first time I've ever even said this on a podcast or anything. If you're hearing this, then you're lucky, but I used to be a piece of crap. But
it's okay. I think everybody has a hard story, right? I come from a really hard story, and it's harder than most people's, and it's not as hard as other people's.
Yep.
And somewhere in the middle, we find pure love.
Yeah.
When we realize that it's not about who we are, it's about what we do.
Yeah.
How do you interact with people every day? I love it because you guys are super genuine. I came to meet you guys a couple days ago, and you were nothing but nice, kind, look me in the eyes, have a conversation, real people. And that's not everybody here.
No.
So tell me about the ones that are not so great. How do we interact with those people? What's the right thing to do?
You don't interact with them. Like I had a certain somebody come up to me, and she had pinned me in a corner and went off on me for, I don't even exactly remember what it even was for, actually. It was...
This person is deranged, though. I know exactly the person you're speaking of.
Yeah, she came up to me and she went straight freaking insane.
Where was this at?
This is the after party.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then what happened?
It was in public. And I was at the bar, and I already had an encounter with her on a podcast interview. Just because I was associated to certain friends, that mean that I was a piece of crap. And I'm like, I don't even know. I've never even talked to you before. You know?
Was she mean to you?
Oh, she was awful.
What'd she say?
Because I didn't shake her hand. I had my hands in my pockets, and she was like, it's nice to meet you. And I kept my hands in my pockets. I didn't say a word to her. I nodded my head once down. And the second time she came up to me, she was like, hey, I just wanted to say sorry for, whatever. And I said, you knew exactly what she was doing when you walked up to us. And the instant she went off. And yeah, I turned around. I was like, you know what? I don't really need to deal with this. If you come up to someone, you don't want to, like a mean creator or something, just don't even encounter it. Don't put fire to the flame. Just freaking drop it and go on about it.
Just walk away, pretend it doesn't even exist.
Yep.
That's my favorite thing to do, is when someone says, do you know so-and-so and this? And I go, who?
Yeah, exactly. That does more good than harm.
Yeah, because there's a lot of bad things going on. Where did you get your first pair of cowboy boots?
My first pair of cowboy boots, and a lot of people don't know this either, I am the only boy of 5 girls, 4 sisters and my mom.
Where do you fit in it?
I am the middle child. And now I'm the second oldest. My oldest sister, she's passed on. She passed away last year. But Brooke, she's the second oldest. So since I was the only boy, I never had a brother to hand me down boots. So this sounds so dumb, but like my sister, I was doing a photo shoot for her in high school. When she was in high school, she had some photography thing. And I remember I wanted to wear my John Deere hat and my white t-shirt, my blue jeans, and I didn't have a pair of boots, but she had a pair of boots that she had handed me down, and they barely fit me. They were just at the point of my toes, and I was like, man, these hurt, but these are cool. They're pointed toe Ariats.
What color?
They're just a brown Western boot.
Cute.
Yeah. So I've rocked those for a long time till my mom finally bought me like the set of Wolverines from Tractor Supply or something like that. And I'd get a new pair of them every year, and now I'm sponsored by Ariat, so I get to rock some awesome Ariat gear, and they're amazing Western boots. So
Yeah, tell us a little bit about Ariat and how that works for you.
yeah, so Ezekiel Mitchell, he's a PBR rider. He actually introduced us to Ariat a couple years ago. I think this is our third year with Ariat, actually, and we just signed our contract the other day to renew it. Ariat is the only brand that I have worked with that cares about you. Let's say that I'm not even a rodeo athlete. I've rode some bulls and stuff just to do it, but I'm not a rodeo athlete. They sponsor rodeo athletes. And so it was so cool to see them transfer into influencers because no one in the Western industry is doing it. No one in the ag industry hardly is doing it. Ariat is taking off and it's blown up. And I just can't believe these other brands aren't getting behind it.
Do you know why?
Why's that?
It's run by a woman.
Oh.
Beth Cross is the woman.
Yeah,
That woman has developed a sense of community that no other man or company.
Yeah.
There's no other female boot-owned companies. If there are, contact me and I will get you on this podcast.
Yeah, she's amazing. Like,
she's amazing.
We had it. I don't exactly know the word of what the event was, but they literally flew us out to Nashville last year, and it was a company party thing, an annual like meeting thing, and we talked about like their denim. Trevor Brazil was there. He has a Relentless line with them with boots and shirts, and we were just influencers. And these guys are rodeo athletes there talking about the performance boots and all this stuff. They brought us in as influencers, which they brought me in too because I'm a farmer, so they wanted a farmer's aspect. So I was wearing the gear for a little bit, and I was like, this is the things I do and don't like. And they took my opinion or my advice of what I did and didn't like. And I really appreciate that from a company because usually it's, whatever. We're going to do it because everyone, it's selling, whatever. We won't fix it. But Ariat, they're just awesome. They love us, and we've created a relationship with Ariat that I don't have that with any other brands I work with. They just like one-offs or whatever, but Ariat, they want to build a relationship with family, and it's freaking sick.
Yeah, now
awesome.
You're going to have kids with your first-gen rancher wife reading the Bible with your Ariat next year.
Yeah.
Maybe not next year. Who knows?
Yeah, who knows?
You're not in a hurry.
No, I'm not anymore. I really was. I was like, I want kids so bad. I want to be a young dad because my dad and I never got to do adventurous things. Like my dad was older whenever I was able to do things. Like we went snowmobiling. That was like the only father-son thing we ever did. Like we would go ride dirt bikes, but that was like, we didn't take trips. We went to Wisconsin to snowmobile ride one time, and that was like the only memory I have with my dad. So I want to be a young dad. I want to go snorkeling. Like my dad always complained because his grandpa or his dad and him used to do all that fun stuff, and he was upset because he couldn't with me. So
Aw.
I want to be a young dad, but who knows? We'll see.
Yeah, you never know, right? I think that's good quality to have. BMO, thanks for being on today.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Awesome.
This is really fun. You're coming back next year?
Yeah, I'm hoping to get a better booth spot next year. We can put in, I think we're going to try and double our booth size with a lot more merch and people. And so we got some cool things brewing for 24.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's run a live podcast out of there.
Oh,
That's really,
absolutely.
with all the cameras
You know
and the
what's
whole
funny?
yards. Huh.
We had talked about setting up a podcast there
Yeah.
in the booth. We'll see how it goes.
We're going to do it because we need to interview all the girls.
Hmm.
And I think we should do speed dating.
Oh my gosh, that'd be
hosted
so
by the
fun.
Boot Babes.
That'd be so fun.
I'm serious. And I'm going to invite all the women, and you get 1 minute, and you just make a circle and go around, and you get to talk to someone for 1 minute.
That'd be cool.
And then later, if you like them,
Let's go
well, it's
swinging.
Vegas.
Let's go swinging, girl. Yeah.
Okay, BMO, I'll catch up with you probably later. Where's your next event?
I don't really know. Everything's everywhere. I just found out yesterday that I'm going to New York for New Year's Eve.
Oh.
So that's going to be an experience. We got a private event that I got invited to. So I'm going to take that up and go because Who's ever gone to New York City for New Year's?
Nobody. I've never even been to New York. I'm like
Yeah.
the country girl from Idaho. How does someone work with you if they want to work with you? Can they get a hold of you?
Yes. I'm working with management. There's links in my bio, all the bios. It's BMO_34 across all my platforms. If you want to get a hold of me, DM me, Snapchat me, or if you want to work.
Yeah. Cool. All right. Thanks for being on today.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. This is Ashley, and we are live on
Western fashion behind the scenes.
Just remember, it's always cool to wear cowboy boots. If you want to come to NFR next year, make sure you contact the BootBabes beforehand. This episode is sponsored by Las Vegas. You will never be the same if you don't make it to Las Vegas next year for the NFR. Remember, it's always cool to wear cowboy boots.